Well, good evening, everybody. Happy Friday. We made it here. Welcome, everybody. We've got a lot of people in the chat already. This is a good sign. Serenity Kitty, Millie, Dynapillion Style. Uh-oh, I just messed it up. There we go. Bleak Rides, my number one man, and Neil M. Welcome in, everybody. Welcome to the show. Adventures of Keyfob, you told me you were going to be in this time. I'm not sure what happened. That might have been a fallacy. But anyway, here we are. I'm running the show by myself for a little bit tonight. So welcome in. Let's see if I can clear this picture up. All right, tonight's show. This has been a popular debate lately, so that's why I decided to go ahead and throw it up here. To shift or not to shift, early shifting, late shifting, which is better for your engine, which gives you better performance. Obviously, the easy answer is stay in the power band. And that's, as you've watched one of our last shows, that's probably the most misquoted, one of the 5 misquoted things that people use and really don't know anything about. Keith Huntsman, welcome in. Again, I just saw you over on Red's channel. Thanks for coming in. So yeah, when people talk about power band, talk about rev limiters, talk about rev lights, when I mentioned this in one of the groups I'm in, and they're like, well, it depends on where you set your rev limiter. You know, well, you don't set your rev limiter. That's a factory thing. But we're going to talk tonight. We're going to get away from all the jargon and the crazy things. We're going to talk about what's actually what I think, and what you think. You can talk about it too. Throw it in there. What's good for your bike? So Keyfob's coming in. I see him. I see him coming. You finally made it. My bald brother in arms. Welcome in.
Yeah. What's going on, dude?
Welcome on. So the popular theory here is to keep your bike cool in the summer, shift early, keep your revs low, which in fact, according to some theories, that may be the exact opposite. What's good for your bike is getting air through it. That's what keeps your bike cool. To a point. We're going to say, you know, when you start getting close to that red line, then you're probably overheating your engine and getting it hot. However, I'm going to bring my Harley into this, and this is a story I've told before. Everybody's told me the Harley is horrible, the Sportster is horrible, it shakes a lot, man, it's not built for highways, you won't like it, too much vibration. And I actually, on one of my trips down to Little Sturgis, I got her up to about speed limit, obviously, and in 5th gear, and the bike smoothed out. I hit 75, and the bike was smooth as butter. And just to test it, I accelerated a little more, got into 75 plus a few, and it was smooth. It stayed smooth till a lot, basically. The Sportster, if you guys don't know, is a sport engine. I mean, it's meant to go fast, and it likes to go fast. So for my Harley, at least, it's not happy unless it's above 3,000 RPMs. And the closer you can keep it to 5,000, 5,500 RPMs, the happier it is. It runs cooler, it's less. And obviously, if you're stopped at a red light, you'll find out quick that low revs and not moving the bike very fast will make it very hot. So, you know, before I throw all of my stuff into this, let's welcome our guest, Adventures of Keyfob. Welcome in.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Where's Brainy? I mean, I'm not that I don't like you and miss you, but where's Brainy Chameleon?
She is Brainy. Rainy wants to know where you're at and what you're doing. Yeah. No. On the couch. In the couch? On the couch. Okay. On the couch in an AA meeting.
Send my earnest wishes.
She says, hey.
Glad to hear it. Glad to hear she didn't throw you out on the streets when you're living in somebody's basement. So.
Well, I mean, basements are cool.
Basements are cool. They're actually really cool. Ask
Right.
any 30-year-old in Michigan. Anyway, so tonight. So what do you think, man? How do you ride your bike? Do you shift early, shift late? When's your bike
All right.
happy? How about that?
So we're gonna cover all. Well, I don't know about the Goldwing. I haven't rode it yet, but we're gonna start with Brainy's 2018 Honda CTX 700. Now that's a DCT bike, so if you put it in regular drive mode, it shifts at about 2,000 RPMs before you can even get into a gear good. It's throwing you up into the next one, which is lazy. I'm not a big fan of it. Me and Catastrophic both, when we ride it, we click it into sport mode. It allows you more time in the RPM so you can actually get some speed out of the bike. Or just switching into manual mode and just use the little paddle shifters. Um, but that one, it's a pretty lazy bike. It's not meant to rip and roar. Now the two Harleys, on the other hand, like I said in the video yesterday or day before, um, if I'm giving the Lowrider ST a lot of the juice and shifting high in first, second, and third, the front end is going to pick up and it's going to want to run. Now, as soon as you get it to about 3,500 RPMs, up in sixth gear, 80 miles an hour, it's smooth as butter. Just let it glide.
Yeah,
That Bob, not so much.
my wife had the 700 automatic, the CT. I think it was a C. It wasn't a CTX. Was it a CTX?
Should have been.
CTX. And when it was in automatic, it was like, yeah, you're like you said, shifting way too early. And I drive it in sport. It was happier. It could brake better. I could actually use some engine braking on it. It was more like riding a real motorcycle. Trying to get that thing in a parking lot when it's an automatic, it'd throw you down. It just didn't have the power because it kept trying to shift. Like you're saying, it just kept trying to shift early, early, early. Unless you really went balls on, and then it like drug in before it would try to shift. In sport mode, man, that thing was dead on, and I loved it. Um, even my Sportster, if I'm city trafficking and I get to a hill and I'm less than 3,000 RPMs, it'd want to start sputtering, you know. And again, especially for big bikes, how the braking works, how your ABS works, how your shift control works and stuff is off of engine revolution. So when it starts trying to do spin control, wheelie control, not that I guess a lot of people might not be into wheelie control, but that's how it controls. So like, let's say if you go to brake in every fifth revolution of the engine, it's trying to pulse or it's trying to fire or not fire or trying to even up. If you're going about 4,000 RPMs, that comes a whole lot sooner than if you're at 2,000 RPMs. So your ABS is a lot better, your traction control is a lot better if you keep the revs high. And plus it keeps the engine hot, keeps the carbon from building up, keeps it clean. I used to make as a joke when I was a kid back in the 80s, running around my Mustangs like, oh, I'm just trying to clear the carbon out. Well, that's a real thing. You get it hot, you get the engine nice and hot, burns all the carbon off the valves, burns out all the impurities. Engines love to be hot. That's what they like, especially Harleys. People make fun of them. Oh, they're going to overheat. And that's like saying a nuclear reactor is going to go critical. It's always critical. That's when you make the power. Just like a good motorcycle engine or any engine. If it's hot, that's when you're getting fuel efficiency. Granted, if it catches on fire and burns through your firewall, then you've gone a little bit too far. However, engines like to be hot. But I digress. That's just me. I need to get Bleak in here. Why is Bleak not in here yet? Millie and Bleak are having a love story on the side chat. That's why he's ignoring me. Christian Biker, welcome in. Didn't see you there. But anyway, I'm waiting for a lot of people to show up. People like to pop in, pop out. I talk fast, so my segment ends really quick, I guess. Maybe that's why I need more people in here. But anyway, what else you been up to, man? How you going? You going to the camp out?
Yeah, well, right now all plans are. I accidentally gave my dog a really loud chew toy. I'm sorry. Uh, right now, everything's looking good for us to make the camp out. What we're actually trying to do is be Florida residents before the camp out. That way, it's a shorter trip for us, so we can actually bring more assets versus picking and choosing because of the distance.
That's about fair because I've thought you've lived in Florida this whole time. So that's up until about a year ago. I thought you did live in Florida. So I think we should all move to Florida. I mean, why not? Shit.
I mean, that's what we're trying to do.
It's fair.
No, you cannot.
Keith, I had a 79 West Texas Highway Patrol Interceptor, 302 high output. I bought it from a guy who bought it at public auction, and the first thing they made him do was paint the whole thing primer gray. He kept it for a year, pulled the blower off of it and sold it, and I had just a clear bike or a car that was a sleeper. And that car was magic. It looked like a old stupid bucket that somebody had just spray primer, which they were half right, and I would take that thing out and just stomp everybody. Interesting story. So I lived in Texas at a place called Vidor, and I would drive to Beaumont, which was on an elevated freeway that had no entrances or ramps. It had maybe like 2 the entire 8 miles. So that's where everybody got on and would race. So one night I'm going to Beaumont with no racing in mind. I'm just going. And a white Mustang pulls beside me and starts doing the seesaw thing, and everybody knows what that means. Maybe. And so I'm like, let's go. So we start nailing it. Well, he lets me get a little bit ahead, and all of a sudden he nails it, and he slings ahead of me about 100 feet. I'm like, oh, shit, oh, well. And then he falls back behind me and turns his lights on. Yeah, that was it. That was in '89 when everybody was just starting to get all these super low-profile cars. Like, so the East Texas Highway Patrol was running Camaros, whited out Mustangs. They had a couple of Corvettes. They were that's when '88 and '89 when they started taking cars out of impound and putting them into service. So he pulls me over and I pull over, and he says, "I've seen you riding up here a few times, and I know you've never been the aggressor, but I just want you to know I can catch you this time." I'm like, "I didn't know you were trying to catch me before," and he's like, "Well, now you're not. Now you're not." He says, "So just fair warning. I baited you that time. I get it." He says, "But fair warning." I said, "Okay." And after that, I'd be running back and forth to Beaumont, between Beaumont and Vidor, and I'd see a white Mustang flying down, and I'd go, "God, don't be stupid and race that sucker." And I'd see somebody take off, and he was slick about it too. I mean, he knows the teenage boy spirit. He would see these guys and know they were going to try to race him every time they saw him. But yeah, it was a good deal. Good deal, loved it. Drew, welcome in. Yes, Mustang fastbacks were awesome. Anybody remember the Mustang Kicks or the Mustang 2s? It was a 4-cylinder Mustang.
Yes.
Back in the early 80s when they were trying to doing the 55, if you guys are old enough to remember that, all the major car makers started coming out with 6-cylinder and 4-cylinder versions of their sports cars. And it's a fun car to drive. It's kind of like basically they took an Escort engine, and not the newer Escort engines. This was still the 80s version, so still a little bit soupy. But yeah, they put a 4-cylinder in a Mustang, and if you can find one, they're probably worth some money. But boy, it sure was like pissing down your own leg. It was no fun to drive. But anyway, I digress. So you're gonna make it to the camp out. You said you're gonna try to move there.
Yes,
I cut you off. I'm sorry, man.
No, you're good.
It's
You're
Friday.
good.
I am looking to just relax and shit. So I'm like, I want to talk to everybody. But go ahead. You moved to Florida. Now what?
Well, we were trying to torment a circus performer to attending the camp out. And I kind of sent you some messages about that before.
You said you had somebody you didn't specifically say, or if you did, I missed it. So we're going to try to talk somebody to go in.
Well, he's not going to be able to make it for whatever reason. He's booked the weekend after the camp out. So he'll be in Hammond, Louisiana. That's, I'm going to tear his name, Jacques the Whipper, or Jack the Whipper. That's not how you pronounce it. I'm not French.
Yeah, the French version is Jacques. Like Jacques Cousteau.
But his performances are pretty fun to watch. And forgive the background noise. Our Siete, who's been to the campouts, is tormenting the twins in the hallway. So
not a problem. Our dog, she's a little thing. She never barks, and when she does bark, it's like a throaty woof growl, like a woof, and it's loud when it comes out. So I get it. We're into cats and dogs here, not a problem. Millie, how did I miss that you were visiting with Steve Irwin's ghost? And she tore a ligament. I'm so sorry. How'd you do it? And make it a good story. If you have to lie to make it interesting, I'm for that. So let's go. What'd you do?
yeah, you're in the Navy. You're supposed to lie to make a good story,
Yep.
right?
Never let the truth get in the way of a good story.
I've heard that about y'all.
Although my true stories are pretty unbelievable too. So I'm actually writing a book called "So No Shit There I Was," and I've wrote a bunch of chapters on it, and it's sat for a while. And if you've watched any of my shorts, sometimes I'll tell some of these short stories in my short videos. But yeah, I mean the Navy was full of unbelievable stuff. Brady Chameleon, welcome in.
She's a heckler. I'll tell you, man.
Yep, Diana was here. I think she, like I said, it's been a long week. She may have passed out in the living room. I'm here in the studio, so I can't go check on her, but she's here. When she wakes up, she'll see your chat. So everybody say hello to Diana. She's probably sleeping in the living room. Yep, she's there. She woke up now.
Oh.
All right, so Millie, how'd you tear your tendon? Make it a good story. So what do you do? So you're moving to Florida. Can you tell us what you do, or is it like secret, super classified?
Oh, I mean, I'm retired now, man.
What?
I don't do anything.
How do I hear it? Speaking of the Navy, so I just learned I have to wait 2 more years to get my military retirement. I got the super shaft from the military, so I was active duty, and then I transferred to reserves and kept deploying. 6 months before I retired, that's when they said, "Oh, by the way, you don't get your retirement till you return retirement age because you're in the reserves now." And I'm like, "How'd you do this to me?" So like, okay, it's no problem. You just got to wait until your retirement age, but we'll take some years off for your active duty. And I actually retired in 2017, and they've been pushing the dates back like a year every couple of years. So they pushed it back, I think, to 62 now, but I get my retirement now at 57. So they do take some time off, but they fight you every step of the way. Diana says it's 59. Right? I don't believe it. I want it to be 57, so that's what I'm going to believe. Okay, so Millie says, I thought it was a good idea to try to do a backflip. I've never done a backflip before, so I landed harshly on my left leg and it exploded and reattached itself, but the ligament. And Steve has Steve Irwin dancing with me, and then we danced and danced while my leg was torn and floating everywhere. Okay, good story. Good enough.
I don't think it's done.
Then some maggots came and started feeding on my leg. Then Steve Irwin kicked their asses and saved me. Hang on. There's no manta rays or kookaburras in this story. I don't like it. No Australian story is complete without a kookaburra and a dingo and a billabong. Sick bastard, welcome in.
There he is. Hey, Sick. How you doing, buddy?
There's got to be at least one crikey in there somewhere.
So I noticed they've been pushing the Crocodile Dundee movies out on social media.
Have they?
Like on Facebook and through Netflix and Hulu. You'll start seeing it pop up and recommended for you.
I heard they've been trying to do another Crocodile Dundee movie, and I hope they don't, because I love the movies, but it's like some things you just can't redo them. You know, it's like Total Recall. Did you really have to redo another Total Recall? I know Jessica was in it, but I mean that's not a good enough reason just to make a movie. You could have put her in anything, but I don't know, man. Some things are sacred, and I think Crocodile Dundee was sacred. They should not have redone it. That's just me. I hope they don't. I'm already talking like they're doing it, but I just feel like I've heard somewhere they were redoing it, but I hope not.
Imagine all of our classic movies, right? Every generation, like every 20, 30 years, the next generation remakes that movie to kind of keep the blood fresh in it.
Sometimes it's a good idea, and I'll agree. So if anybody's ever seen City of Angels, that's probably a good way that they remade a movie but made it entirely different, but kind of kept the story but made it fresh and new. If you haven't seen, the original City of Angels was actually about a French circus, and the entire movie was in French. Yes, I did go back and watch it just to see. But it's kind of the same thing, except instead of her being a doctor and dying, on a bicycle, he fell in love. She was a trapeze artist, and he fell in love with her. And of course, she fell off the trapeze and died. But they remade the movie, and instead of just saying let's just do a whole movie and make it the exact same and nobody will be surprised, let's change it. Not just one or two things in the movie to make it spritey. Let's change the entire movie. The Star Wars movies. That's a good, way that they changed a movie and made it totally different, but kind of kept the storyline and had a reason why the storyline changed. And I remember seeing an interview with Leonard Nimoy that said he was for this remake because obviously they changed the movie, made something fresh. They breathed new life into it, not just remade the whole new thing again. So if they do make it, I hope that they do it some justice because some of these remakes have not been done any justice.
I can agree with that. The new RoboCop when it came out was what was it, PG-13 instead of rated R like the originals or something, and
Yeah.
you could tell the energy just wasn't in it.
Well, I'll tell you one that they remade, and it wasn't actually a remake. It was just a reboot of the series. It was the Judge Dredd. I thought the new Judge Dredd was better than the original. It actually had the action of the. It was more faithful to the comic book.
Okay, okay,
If you've never in the 80, the 80s comic book of Judge Dredd, the dude was like that, and I like that they had the Psychop in it. And they did that good justice. The original RoboCop wasn't, or Judge Dredd wasn't funny and witty and a bunch of jokes. It was gritty. It was harsh. It was bloody. It was nasty. And so I think the Keith Urban or the Keith Urban, yeah, not Keith Urban. What's his name?
uh,
Carl Urban. The Carl Urban version of Judge Dredd was much better than the Stallone version, and I like Stallone. I just thought that version was more close to the original source material. Journey of Jerry, welcome in. Yeah, I saw somebody say the other day when they started doing sequels, the first movie is usually really, really good. The sequel is usually really good. By the time they hit the third one, it's just a money grab. They're just trying to keep it fresh, keep it alive. And I think a good example of that would be the American Pie series. There's so many American Pie movies now that I haven't even seen them all. I started watching them all, then when it got to Wedding, that's probably the last one I saw. And then it was, American Pie Bachelor Party, American Pie Divorce, American Pie Middle-Aged Life Crisis, and then it was like, and then they changed the whole people out, changed them all out, and made them a bunch of younger kids. So yeah, that was just, and now I think it's straight to Hulu and straight to Amazon. So
I
anyway,
haven't seen it since I think since the wedding. I think the wedding was the last one I saw.
yeah, and the Wedding one was good. The Wedding was actually good. Yeah, saw Final Destination, all the Friday the 13th movies. Those just got to where it was like, okay, fine. Until Jason X. They actually did something so stupid with it that it was actually good. When they fire him into space and he gets hit
Okay,
with space
okay.
radiation. That
That
was actually
was
okay. That was so over the top that it was actually good. So if you yeah, if
what
you
year was that?
ugh,
03?
don't even tell. I don't even ask me, man. Jeez, I've been watching them since the beginning. So the first Friday the 13th I saw, I was in junior high. That was like in the early 80s. So I've been watching. She's almost 40 years now. 40 years of Jason. That's
So
crazy.
would you be against them making, let's say, a new Freddy Krueger and a new Jason or new Child's Play? Because I know the last Child's Plays were
They got yeah. They were pretty nuts. I think if they redid all the original movies and actually made them scary again, like Nightmare on Elm Street. If they redid them and actually made them scary, they'd be worth watching. They've got to just blow people's minds, and
yeah.
not just do another Heckle and Jekyll funny movie because those are overblown. I think that's what ruined the series in the first place. Having wisecracks every once in a while was funny in the movie, but when they made the entire movie a running joke, that's when it got old.
Yeah, all
Um,
he's gonna do is make puns and kill you.
Well, my daughter, she had watched like the third one, the fourth one, the fifth one, the sixth one, and when we went back and watched the original, the whole movie is scary. And she's like, I didn't know this was actually a scary movie. I just thought it was like funny horror. I'm like, no, this is really, it was supposed to be horror. That's what it was supposed to be. And they did the same thing to Jason
Yeah.
Friday the 13th. They just started making it a running joke. And I think bringing it back to space again, that was so over the top, it actually made it a different movie. So that was kind of funny.
I mean, the one that stuck out to me, I don't know which one it was. I just remember as a kid growing up and seeing it, and the person ran into the outhouse or the porta potty or whatever it was, and all of a sudden he started stabbing something through the porta potty and eventually killed him. That made me, as a kid, made me terrified to go inside a porta potty at night. You know,
I think it was the first
and
one. I think that's the same one where Kevin Bacon got stabbed in bed, having sex with a girl, and they stabbed him with an arrow through the bottom of the bunk bed. Was that the same one?
hey,
That was the
look, I don't
very
remember
first
the
one.
details.
Yeah, that was the very
I
first one.
wasn't supposed to be watching those to begin with.
If you go back and look at the first Friday the 13th, it had a lot of famous people in it. A lot of famous people. And I actually had to go back and watch it to realize that Kevin Bacon was in it. So, and of course, that's how we started, 7 Degrees of Kevin Bacon. Next thing you know, Kevin Bacon's in everything.
It happens like that, doesn't it?
Yeah.
All right, so sequels and remakes, kind of frowned on those. But okay, what about this new Happy Gilmore coming out?
I'm anxious to watch it. I mean,
Okay.
it's not. Well, I think they gave it its story, and this isn't like a rehash and a cash grab. He has a real good way of remaking a movie and making it good. If he makes a second movie, it's going to be a pretty good movie. Um, but he puts a lot of care and love into the movies, so all of his movies are good. No matter how corny and boyish the humor is, it's still a good movie, and there's always a good side to it. So
I like the fact he
yes,
always has the same cast. It's always the same people.
because they're good together.
Yeah. Keep your friends close, you know? If you're succeeding, bring your friends in so they can succeed.
Millie,
I like
I hope
that.
you get well. Thanks for coming in. Yeah, he's actually has real friends, and they work together well. They have good chemistry. I think that's why like John Belushi and Dan Aykroyd worked so well together was because they were on like Second City together in Canada, and then they were together on Saturday Night Live, and they kind of kept that chemistry going all the time. So I think it was just a good carryover to keep people around you that are always that know your marks, that know how you're going to act to a certain scene, and the scenes just kind of play themselves out. It's kind of funny.
Read Brady's comment about the movies.
Yeah,
I'm
PTSD
sure
from a
she's
scary
not.
movie.
Yeah, I have not, since we've been together, I have not seen a single scary movie. You can't say that word.
Well, you gotta watch good scary movies. You can't watch the ones that are just like blood and guts and stupid. Like they want to make you throw up. You gotta watch a movie that actually scares you. Um, I can't remember the guy's name. I think his name was Sam Neill. In the '90s, was in movies that would make you go, "What the hell was that?" And you would walk out like disturbed. So Event Horizon and Mouth of Madness. Those were movies that like they were scary because it was stuff that like was really happening in science or things that people were talking
Yeah.
about and could be true. Um, Event Horizon. I mean, I remember I went to with three guys while I was in the Navy and watched that movie, and I was scared to death in that movie. And I remember walking out of that movie going, I'm sure I'm here with three grown men. I'm sure happy because it was freaky. It was a freaky movie. And I got back to the ship that night and got in my bunk and I was freaked out. I couldn't sleep. And that doesn't happen to me, man. I'm a grown ass man. Nothing scares me, but that movie was freaky.
Yeah, I think the worst scary movies I saw was either Dreamcatcher or Dead Birds.
Dreamcatcher. Dreamcatcher was not scary.
Yeah, I mean, and that's what it was sold as in our household. This is a scary movie. It's going to terrify you. You're going to have nightmares. Just watch it.
You know what it was? Must have been the berries.
Is that what it was?
Yeah. Every time somebody go to the bathroom, oh, it must have been the berries I ate.
Uh,
And then
I didn't.
what's the Marky, not Marky Mark, it was his brother Donnie. Um, played the retarded kid in that movie. He kept going, I
Yes.
did it.
I did it.
It was a freaky. I'll give you this. It was a freaky movie, but it had some funny points that I guess could kind of draw you away from just being horrible, and just like stupid scary.
I mean, if
Yeah.
we can agree that it was just horrible, I'm good with that.
No, I love that movie though. No, I love that movie. It was scary in all the right places, and it was funny in some of the places to kind of pull you away from the trauma of the terror. So yeah, I just remember the funny parts more, I guess, because watching Donnie Wahlberg walk around like mumbling to himself like a retarded kid was just too funny to me. Because I'd grown up in the the New Kids on the Block era, and watching him get up there and be a totally different person was funny to me instead of being a badass. Whoa, hanging tough. Whoa, I done it.
My two older sisters love New Kids on the Block. That's some memories for you right there.
Yeah, that's traumatizing. I remember I had just I think I got out of the movie or got out of the Navy the first time when NSYNC came out.
Oh,
So yeah, yeah, that was every girl you'd meet was like, oh my god, NSYNC's in concert. We're gonna watch NSYNC in concert. Have fun. Don't fall.
I can't stand concerts. Too much noise, man.
Christine was another yes. Christine was another movie that scared the crap out of me. Movies that scared me when I was a kid, even into the teenager years, was the ones that weren't like overly gross. They were the shockers. They were the jump scare movies, and that's the ones that I liked to watch when I was a kid because you like that adrenaline scare. Now it's like with Saw or with some of these that are just so gross you can't watch them. I remember watching one. I think it was called Hostel, where they showed a lot of torture and stuff, and it was like, this is disgusting. I can't watch this movie. It's like sawing people's feet off and stuff. It's
Yeah,
like this isn't scary to me.
it's gruesome.
Yeah, it's
I don't
gruesome.
like it.
Yeah, the gruesome ones are the ones I don't like. It's like, okay, you're just watching it in terror, especially as a military guy and seeing, I don't know, a lot of weird stuff like that. I'd rather see a movie that scares me and that is unrealistic than see a movie that's too close to being like, especially anatomically correct. I like seeing explosions. Alien scared the crap out of me, and it was the jump scare parts of it that scared you. Um, there
Okay,
wasn't
so
a whole
the
lot. Of,
movie, the movie. Okay,
yeah,
I just wanted
the original movie Alien. It just there wasn't a whole lot of blood in it either. The first one, it was just a lot of jump scare and a lot of suspense, and the music they played and the sound effects in the background. You just didn't know what was going to happen next, and that's what a good horror movie to me is about. If they can make movies like that again, I think I'd like them a whole lot better.
I think to me, a good horror movie is like a creature, and the story is just real enough to make you think, well, this could be real.
Yes.
You know, like Lake Placid, it's just close enough to being real. It- Especially down in Florida, you could see somebody having a pond full of gators that everyone disappears into.
Uh-huh.
You could see that because it's just real enough. It could exist.
Yeah. Yeah. And I lived in Louisiana when Pumpkinhead came out, and yeah, and it's like yeah. Don't go outside the
I'm
swamp at night.
sorry.
Yeah.
That was a rough one.
And Leatherface, Texas Chainsaw Massacre. That was another one. I grew up in Texas. There's a lot of people that talk like that. Don't you hurt my boy? You're hurting my boy. Yeah.
Speaking of grew up in Texas, the in-house Mexican grew up in Texas.
Where'd she grow up at?
Uh, Comanche, Texas. Yes, love.
Oh, okay.
It was near Dallas, like an hour and a half outside Dallas Fort Worth.
North, east, southwest.
I had an aunt that lived in Comanche.
Oh, you did. So you know where it's at.
Yep.
He had an aunt that lived in Comanche. You probably knew her.
Yep. We lived right outside of Beaumont.
Really?
Yeah, come here.
Yep. Comanche's not that big. Her name was Bertie Caldwell. She worked for a trucking company.
I know I have my headphones on. You're gonna put them on. Yes, you will, because you're gonna put them on. That's how it works.
Too loud for this. I'm gonna be yelling in the microphone. I have a super loud voice. Hey,
No, you're
how
just
are
enough.
ya?
I'm good. So yeah, my aunt worked for a trucking company. She ended up owning. She owns it now, but her name was Bertie Caldwell, and she worked for a trucking company as the dispatcher and then the accountant. And she owns
Caldwell? You said
Bertie.
Caldwell?
Bertie Caldwell. Yep.
I remember there was a bunch of Caldwells in Comanche.
I can't remember
That's
what her daughter's name was. It was my stepdad's sister, so I knew
They
her.
lived there like a long time
Oh
though.
yeah, they lived there from the late '70s until I think she didn't leave there until probably the late 2000s, maybe 2005, 2006.
Yeah, that's yeah. I was born there in '84. I didn't leave until like 2000. But yeah, I remember there was a lot of Caldwells in that little tiny town. What a small world. That is
It
so
is a small
funny.
world.
Who would have thunk it?
I have
Okay.
met people in grocery stores before that I was like, oh, you're from Vidor? I was from Vidor. That's not a big town. I'll talk to the people I'm from that town, but yeah.
Yeah, whenever we left Comanche, which was a tiny microscopic town, and then we came to Georgia and we landed in my dad's hometown, but several decades later after he grew up there, and I ended up becoming friends with a group of people that was in this little like classic rock band that my dad used to play with back whenever, or like he did like staging stuff with them. And I come home and I was like, oh, I met this really cool classic rock band. And he's like, what's their name? And I was like, Boogie Whip. He was like, what? I used to do stage with Boogie Whip. I'm like, what a small world. Anyways, I'll ramble, and I know this is all about bikes. So,
No, no. We're rambling tonight. I don't know if you know about this channel.
oh yeah, yeah, we're talking about movies. I
Yeah,
forgot.
we
Sorry.
have a theme we stick to for about 5 minutes, and if something's better to talk about, we talk about it, and we talk about that until it gets boring, and then we're like, okay, we drive it back into the topic again. We stay on the
That's like my
topic for
brain
about
language.
10, yeah, yeah.
Zigzag.
But that keeps it interesting. That means that keeps the shows from all being really boring because if there's something that's going to draw your attention, you're going to talk about that instead. Talk about it
Yeah,
because that's
of
what
course.
especially if the audience is into it. If the audience wants to hear about, like right now they're talking about scary cars and horror movies, and
I saw
so
that.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's what
All
it's all
right.
about. Is I mean, I think that's what makes this community so great because we're so eclectic in our tastes. You
Yeah,
know,
and so different, but at the same time, kind of the same,
yeah,
huh?
absolutely.
All right, it's good to see
Good
you.
seeing you too.
I've
You're
I've
gonna be
been
there in October.
no, I got to get back on my meeting. I'm still on my AA meeting, and they call on people to share. They're gonna be like, Crystal. I'm like, do 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 do. I was in the chat, but
Oh,
on my meeting too.
and
Okay, I'm gonna let Keith Pop get back on.
come
Thank
on
you for
in.
letting me.
Thanks for
Thank
coming
you
in.
for letting me run my
If
mouth.
you make it in October, I'll see you there.
Yes, we will be there. Of course, we will. I'll see you
Come up and give
soon.
me a hug.
Of course.
See you there.
All right.
So Dry Heat Doug just messaged me and said they're at Pinal Peak, and he can't make it in tonight.
Aw. Yeah, I figured the night I show up, no one else comes in.
Hey, that's cool. It's just me and you. I ain't got to talk to you in literally years. So I mean, welcome in. It's been almost well, okay. Last time I saw you would have been last. I missed October, March, so it would have been March before last. Is the last time I got to see you.
So March a year ago.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's been over a year and a half.
like 18 months. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And we were supposed to sing karaoke.
I'll tell you what. I've got a thing going this time. So yeah, Lala Stromboli, she's gonna be my pimp, and I told her if people donate to Forgotten Angels, I'll sing anything they want me to sing. So you want to join me
Okay.
for that? We can split the
I mean,
profits.
I'll try my best. I can't carry a tone.
I ain't good, but I'm enthusiastic.
There you go. Give you my best.
Michael Holmes, I forgot to tell you good, hello, so welcome in.
Hey,
Um,
Mike.
I had a friend in high school that had a Buick Riviera, and he kept wanting me to drive it and take it out for him, and I was scared because every part of that car was the Batmobile, which obviously I'm Michael Keaton. Everybody wanted me to drive it. He said, "Drive my car, man, you'll love it." And I'm like, "Dude, every part of that car is hard to replace." He had busted the back window out, and even back then, this was '88. The back window was like $500, and that was a long time ago. So now there'd be no way. I mean, that's basically like buying a whole car. Dry Heat Doug is sending me videos and pictures, and I can't really share them because I can't get them on the video. He's giving to me on the phone, and I can't show the phone because it's already kind of grainy. But
It'd be all right. I
but
just sent you the link to the guy I was trying to convince to come to the camp out. So
Jacques
if you want to
Zenweeper.
torment them, yeah.
All right, I'm gonna look him up and then I'll send him a message later. I just got a message from that blonde California chick, and she said she'd be in shortly.
What shortly?
I don't know. For a girl, shortly might be 5 minutes, might be 30 minutes.
Yeah, I remember Brandy telling me, "I'll get ready and we can leave shortly." 2 hours later. Yeah,
Now,
plausible deniability.
as I get older, that's me. I'm like, oh, hang on, I gotta go back for this. Gotta go back for that.
Oh, don't drink all my drink, please. You know what? You can. You drink all of it here.
All right, so well, since we're on movies already, so if they could remake any movie, which movie would you want to see remade?
All right, so that's a little bit of a tough one for me. They redid the Ghostbusters after the all-female cast, which was a horrible movie in my opinion, just because I didn't find any of it entertaining. But the one they did after that was amazing.
This
So I don't think they need to
Frozen
retouch
City or
Ghost.
whatever.
Uh, did they do
Frozen Kingdom, was it called? What was it called? Something ice frozen something.
I don't know now.
But yeah, that one was good. I did like it. The first one kind of drug. They kind of couldn't get to the point. The second one they jumped right into we're Ghostbusters, we hunt ghosts. I did like that one a lot better. I thought they kind of did good justice to it at the end. So the last half of the remake was good. The first half just kind of drug and drug and drug. Like, okay, this is another coming of age teen drama. I don't want to see this. I want to see ghost busting. So the second one much better, or this last one, the Frozen. I think it was called Frozen Kingdom, but it was much better.
That's the one. But I think a Jaws, a real quality remake of a Jaws, because growing up, my grandfather would pirate movies off the TV just by hitting the record button on the VCR, and in the summer he would give me those movies, and one of the ones he gave me was Predator, Terminator, Throw Mama from the Train, Commando, and Jaws.
Ray Gregory, welcome in.
Hey, Mr. Ray.
If they could redo Jaws, and I don't know, they've done shark movies that were just like horrible,
Yes.
like Deep Blue, horrible. This one that they're hanging on to the buoy for like 3 days, horrible. I don't like a suspense movie that bores me.
Either eat them or don't eat them.
Yeah, and eat everybody. And okay, if you're not gonna eat the one person, you're gonna get bored. Sharks aren't that they don't have that much patience. They know that the sea is full of dead shit and shit that's dying. They'll just go somewhere else. They won't. They're not that territorial. They move. They're swimming predators. Yeah, they're not gonna hang out.
Well,
Gators do.
Well, gators are good to pull it and tuck it and store it for later.
Yeah. Gators don't eat, but like once, I think once every 2 or 3 weeks, once a month is if they get bigger. Sharks are just feeding predators. They're not going to wait for something. They're going to go find something else to eat.
Yeah. The next easiest meal, whether it be a swimmer or a fish.
Yep. I saw this funny this funny video the other day. The dude looks around in all directions and he's like, how to find a shark in the ocean. And he surfaces and slaps the top of the water about 5 times. He goes back down and the shark's swimming up to him. It doesn't take long. They absolutely will come to turbulence in the water.
Makes sense.
Christian Biker, we are from Sykeston. We're about 2.5 hours.
Where's that?
Christian Biker asked where Sykeston, Missouri was. We're like right south of Memphis, so we're like 2.5 hours from there. Not far. The Birds. Dinah says The Birds. The Birds. That was a weird movie.
Horrible.
Now, I do every once in a while like watching stupid horror movies, like frogs or cows, or there was one called Zombeaver, where chemicals got in the water and turned all the beavers into zombies. So I mean, and that's if you go into a horror movie and you know it's going to be absolutely stupid, you can enjoy the stupidity. We just watched one, and I won't ruin this for you, but it's called Tucker and Dale versus Evil. That was the best movie because it was stupid, but you knew it was going to be kind of stupid when it started. So I actually enjoyed that one.
That one kind of reminded me of the Ernest P. Worrell
Yeah.
movies. You knew, especially one where he saves Halloween. You, you knew better than take any of it serious as a true horror film. You knew it's just going to be funny. You're going to laugh.
Yeah. Or The Littlest Vampire. You know it's not going to be a horror movie.
Or if it is, you got a different opinion of horror, I guess.
Yeah. The original. Here's another one that actually got better after it got stupider. Is Evil Dead.
I couldn't get into those, man. I'm gonna be honest. I didn't understand them, and no one could explain it to me. Just like the Holy Grail movies, no one could explain to me the National Lampoon humor.
You had to have, I think, to understand Holy Grail, you had to have watched a lot of Monty Python, and so you were kind of prepared for that dry British humor. So having grown up in a unsophisticated household, when I first watched it, I didn't understand it. Then I joined the Navy, and then we watched a lot of BBC because when you go overseas, all of your footage comes from like maybe Paramount, but the rest of it that's local comes from BBC, Sky One, an Australian station. I remember the last time I was in Kuwait, we had like 3 stations. We had the Fashion Channel because Kuwaitis are big into fashion. We had Sky One, BBC, and Telenauticas or Univision, one of the Spanish channels. So I got really into watching BBC shows, and some of them were really good. That's where I got into Doctor Who. I had watched some Doctor Who when I was in the 80s on like Fox and stuff. But when I got really into Doctor Who, watching BBC and Sky Television in the mid 2000s, 2006, 2007. And it was actually really good. Once you understood that humor, then when you watch British funny shows, it's a lot different watching them.
Well, I guess that's where I always miss the culture then.
You get it's something you got to train your brain to, I guess. I think once you hang out with it, it's a lot like, so I'm going to take, you and Brainy, if you've never hung around with people who have an accent, when you hang around people with an accent, you don't understand what they're saying. You just got to get your mind attuned to it.
I got you.
So, and I'll say that because first time my wife went home with me, so my wife was from Florida, and she lived in Florida and New York. She went home with me the first time, and my stepdad talks like Troy from Swamp People. I actually had to translate for her. She had no clue what he was saying. A lot of my family really. So now she understands them, but back then she didn't understand. Doug's having a really hard time getting on.
I see.
Come on, Doug, try again.
Keep going, Doug. We got faith in you, buddy.
He's on vacation. I get it if he can't get on. He keeps trying. He keeps trying, though. The Shining was scary also. Again, one of those that didn't have... Obviously, there was like a lick of blood at the end, but it was a jump scare movie. It was one of those movies that was so suspenseful. You didn't know what was going on. I agree with that.
Never saw it.
The Shining?
Yep. Never saw it.
The Shining is...
All right, so one thing you need to understand is back in the 80s, early 90s, I wasn't diagnosed with anything. They just thought, okay, he's ADD, right? But I would fixate, and stuff would stay in my mind, and I couldn't get it out, and I had night terrors. So what my family began to do is kind of filter what they allowed me to see, what they didn't allow me to see. Like the movie Critters, terrifying. Even the second one didn't make any sense, but terrifying. So my family began to keep me from anything that would be scary. And then anything that was too violent. And then everything went out the window.
Eventually, yeah. I think. So what was it like? Tell us about what it was like when you finally came out of the shelter and started watching.
At that point, I had never seen any of the Child's Play movies, and the young lady I was dating at the time happened to bootleg uh, Bride of Chucky, and I remember watching that, and it wasn't scary, but it had the horror aspect, but just humor, right? Not like the originals. But from that point, I kind of pick and chose what I watched as far as the movies, and if it was an action or something that constantly had something going on, it's switching to something else. But all the newer, well, ever since Brainy, like I said, nothing new.
Let me see if I can. All right. Just a biker girl, welcome in.
Hey
Let me
guys.
see if I can clean. No, not her. Why am I trying to get her off?
Huh?
I am trying to
Not her?
clean up the screen here.
How you guys doing?
We are doing good.
Doing
How are
good.
you? How are you feeling?
I'm feeling pretty good. End of a long week, just like everybody else.
Bear with me. I'm trying to clean. It's hard work being an editor.
I don't
Oh,
even
well.
see what you're doing.
So I'm trying to clear Doug's
Making
slot.
magic, my friend. That's what he's
I
doing.
can't say. I'm trying. Yeah, this is the movie magic part that doesn't look so magic. This is bad magic. Bad magic. So here's the deal. So I do backstage, and I do it under the beta still. So somehow I still do it and don't have to pay a subscription. I shouldn't have said that out loud. But it also doesn't let me do things like take people off the video when their video's not working.
Oh man.
Yeah, it sucks sometimes.
What happened to Doug?
He's driving, so his video's bad, but it won't let him go.
Ah.
So it should be dumping him, and it's not. I'm gonna try one more time. There's nothing behind the screen. What's the
Nothing
saying?
to see here.
Nothing to see behind the screen. There's no man behind the screen. Okay.
Good gravy.
Why is this doing this? Uploading will continue until they close their tab. Okay. Well, all right.
Close the tab.
So I can't close this tab. Doug, you got to close your tab. I can't close your tab.
Sounds like a
Let's-
bar story.
I was gonna say we should add to his tab.
Yeah, since he's going to keep his tab open. Why not? All right, Biker Girl, welcome in. How you doing today? We had a topic. We've kind of thrown it off the cliff, yeeted it right down the alley.
Alrighty.
So, yeah.
To shift or not to shift? I was gonna ask. What are the circumstances?
All right, so we're talking about, so there's a lot of different, viewpoints on shifting early to keep your engine cool, shifting late, letting the revs ride to clean the carbon out, to let your engine breathe better. So what's your belief on this?
So here's the deal. I think it depends on where you are, what you're doing, who you're riding with, and how you're feeling. If I'm riding with my husband, I take it pretty mellow because he worries enough as it is that he doesn't actually need to see the stupid shit I do in person. But if I'm on my own, I am going to grip it and rip it.
Well, we're actually talking about when you shift. If you let the revs get up before you shift, if you let it ride
Hell yeah.
high. There's a lot of times on the way to work I hit 60 miles an hour, but I'm still in fourth gear because the bike doesn't like being in low revs.
They like it.
Yes, they do.
Absolutely.
They like it hot and heavy.
If I got a big load on back, then I might
Bow,
take it a
chicka,
little
wow, wow.
easier, right?
You said if you have a big load on back. You get a big load on
I'm
your
gonna be all
back.
self-conscious. I'm gonna be like eating my dinner, like, oh, don't judge.
Would never judge.
I need a spare seat for this seat.
No insult there. No insult. All
I know what I am. I'm thicker than a snicker. I'm all right with it. That's why I ride the big bikes.
thicker than a sticker.
Sneaker.
Tara, welcome in. Christian Biker says it's almost too hot to ride this week. I actually talked about that in the upcoming video. It's been really weird. For the last 2 weeks, I have not seen another rider on the road. It's really weird. It's hit almost 100 a couple times here this week. I don't know. Like a month ago, there were people all over the place. You saw bikes everywhere. Now, you don't see any bikes. I'm the only one on the road. Mikey on Mikey, welcome in. It's really weird to go out as a biker and not see anybody else, especially when the weather's, to me, perfect. You know, riding in the morning, it's 80 degrees. And I know up where Biker Girl is, it's probably still 20 or 30, but here it's perfect. I mean, it's perfect here to me. You get tan. I mean, you get these funky, tan lines on your arms where you wear your gloves, but that's what it's all about. I mean, this is perfect riding weather. People dream about riding in this. People from Ohio would love to be in sunny weather like this and ride.
Mm-hmm.
Matter of fact, they do. They leave Ohio to come down here and hang out in the heat. And I don't know. It's just strange to me. People don't want to come down here where it's nice and warm to warm your toes.
Warm.
And it's not like down in South Florida or South Texas where it's 110, 120. This is perfect weather. A little humid. As long as you're moving, it's fine.
I'm a little worried. I'm not next week, but at the end of next week, I'm heading out to catch up with my friend Joyce, Crazy Biker Bitch, and I haven't been inland at all, so I've only been experiencing like 60-degree days, maybe 64 if it's really sunny out. I'm a little worried, and I'm looking forward to some sun and some hot weather, but about it being too hot and not being able to handle the ride.
So, when are you going to get her on?
I know, right?
I
have no
sent
idea.
her a message and I got no response.
She's a little, what do you call it, squirrel syndrome. So the second she looks away and she thinks about answering you, she sees something else and she's on to that topic. So don't take it too personal. If you read her book, it reads exactly like her life.
No, there are a few things I take personal. Things I take personally are actually insults. If you just ignore me, that's normal. I'm used to it. I'm a shadow on the wall.
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm. So, are you going to come down to Forgotten Angels yet?
Not yet. But I will put it on my calendar for next year now that I know about you guys.
So, next March. March is a little cooler. I don't know if you plan on driving and towing or if you try to ride the whole way. Actually, you're in a perfect spot because you don't have to go too far north. You can go straight down, hit 10, and ride 10 all the way over.
Yeah. So
it's a little cold between, like New Mexico maybe. It gets a little cold. New Mexico through Texas. Once you hit, like San Antonio, all of a sudden you're in summer again. I don't know why there's such a huge variance in. Maybe it's the altitude. Maybe there's a plane you ride over in San Antonio. I don't know. But you hit San Antonio and it's like entering a different country.
I would fly out because somebody told me that they had a bike to borrow.
Here, yeah. If you could ride the Sportster all the way down to Tampa from here.
I don't know. I don't know if I could ride a Sportster. That's super badass.
We'd swap out.
Okay.
It'd be funny to watch you try, though. I mean, you got to catch me first. No, the Sportster with the big tank on it, I can get probably highway. I can probably get about 150 gallons out of the tank. 150 miles out of the tank. Unlike the original tank that you could get about 90 out of. So, yeah, the BMW is good for like 350 miles. So whoever's on the Sportster would have to be on the intercoms with the one that's not to go, stop, the fuck, I shouldn't go on.
You don't stop, you're pushing it.
Yeah. It is lucky though. So yeah, so in reality, I put the bigger tank on there with the original fuel control and pump. So you can actually get probably about 250 miles out of that tank.
Wow.
But once the light comes on, you've got about 2 gallons left in it. And that's still a good ways to go. And the placement of that fuel tank or fuel pump in that tank, you can just about get everything out of that thing. The original tank, the placement of it was really weird. The low light would come on, you still have another gallon and a half of fuel in it. It was insane.
Huh.
So it was like a 3.2 gallon tank, and it was stupid. Now it's got a 5 gallon tank. Actually, a little more than 5 gallons. It's 20 liters, so it's like 5.2 gallons. So it'll run, and that bike gets between 45 and 55 miles a gallon, depending on your altitude, hills, whatever. But still, great gas mileage.
Yeah,
Well, the funny thing is the BMW has a 7-gallon tank and also gets 50, 60 miles a gallon. So we used to ride. So I had a BMW that had a 4.5-gallon tank, and we would stop every once in a while and have to get off and refuel, pee, eat, whatever. When I got the bigger one, it was like we'd ride, and she'd be like, "Okay, it's time to stop now. We need to stop somewhere." Because the range is so long. Because I'm used to, lights on, low fuel lights on, we got to stop. Oh, low fuel lights on, we got to stop. This low fuel light don't come on until about 300 miles. So if you're waiting on that to come on, you're waiting. You're waiting for a long time.
You're waiting for a little bit. Yeah.
Yeah, and if you're straight shotting it, that's great. You can make it.
Yeah.
If you're doing a long run and you're expecting to go 300 miles between gas stops, you're going to be miserable by the time you get there. Anyway, that's just me. Michael Holmes. Michael Holmes, I am sorry to ask, but have I met you yet, or am I looking forward to
You
meeting
did not. But he was the winner of the night rod that Buck donated.
Oh, okay. I was not
Cool.
there that time because that was was that the tornado after the tornado, the one after the tornado?
After the hurricane, yeah. The October.
Okay, so I didn't. Yeah,
We didn't make that one either because that's when Catastrophic was graduating from boot camp.
Yep, it was so. We had gone down to Florida. So my wife graduated from, not Clearwater, Pinellas Park, and we went down to the beach there for her reunion. The week after we left the beach down there, Clearwater, it flooded. The hotel that we were in flooded. And so we're like, we're supposed to be going back in 2 weeks. I don't know if we want to go back to Florida. Everything sounds like it's flooded. And they weren't sure if the land was going to dry out. They weren't sure if the campground was going to be dry. And it's like, I don't want to drive 1,000 miles and get down there and not have anywhere to sleep. So it's like, maybe we'll skip this one. And the people that did go said it was a lot closer, a lot more, communal because there weren't a whole lot of people there. But I don't know. It's one of those things you got to make the decision. It's not like, well, it's an hour drive. I'll just drive and see what it's like when I get there. And if it's bad, I'll turn around. It's on the bike, you're looking at probably 15, 16 hours to drive down there. In a car, you can probably make it in 13 or 14. But either way, you can't just turn around and go back if the land's not nice. So we had to bite the bullet on that one and go, all right, if somebody wants to go, donate our ticket because we just can't make it.
We're hoping to actually be able to pull the camper down this year. Hopes.
Absolutely cool. All right, biker girl, how's your kidneys?
They are still alive. That's all I have.
I was gonna donate one to you, but then I figured you'd just send it into dialysis anyway with all your drinking, so I figured I'd just keep it. Why waste a kidney?
Kidneys are good. Liver is still hanging in there. We're living another day. That's all I got. Shh. Telling all my secrets.
I play a video game that one of the guys goes, "Yep, Doc said I shot my liver." Anyway.
And what is that? You're going to have to elaborate.
I have it's Fallout 4. One of the characters, it's like one of the NPCs says, "Yep, okay. Doc said I shot my liver." It's like so Bethesda throws weird stuff into their games, like so for Skyrim and for Oblivion, all of the Elder Scrolls. The joke is, "Oh, somebody took your sweet roll," or I was an adventurer like you until I took an arrow in the knee. Mm-hmm. It's so the funny thing about that is in the first or the second Oblivion, they talk about the joke is taking an arrow in the knee means you got married. So you're just not as active. So it's like a rolling joke in all of the Oblivion games. Basically, it means they got married and stopped having fun. So, little trivia in case you guys have ever played Skyrim or one of the Oblivion games and didn't know, that's what they're talking about.
No.
I didn't. I really thought he just got shot in the knee with an arrow. I mean,
No,
it made
No.
sense.
that means they're talking about like getting down on a knee and hurting your knee. I took an arrow in the knee.
Oh,
Yeah, I still have fun because I play Skyrim. But
there you go.
anyway, what were you eating? Look like you were. Don't tell me you're eating spaghetti.
It's not spaghetti. The mother-in-law made some type of casserole, and it's actually delicious.
Oh, that's right. Your Mill's living with you right now.
No, she's not, but she comes over every single day.
Oh God, that's
It is
gross.
an everything. Everybody loves Raymond type scenario. She lives about a quarter mile away. She
Speaking of
comes over
horrible
every
shows,
day.
just,
Okay.
And shut up.
I hated that
So,
show. Oh, it was so
yeah,
dumb.
she comes over. She spends the days. She likes to make dinner most days, and she makes really good food, but she doesn't like use seasoning, so everything is usually really bland, and I have to, add a lot of salt, a lot of pepper, a lot of anything. But it's good. It's some type of casserole. I threw a few French's fried onions on top and some soy sauce, and it's good.
Yeah. So
And
I'm
I'm
actually,
grateful. I don't mean to sound ungrateful. I am so grateful. She made dinner. It's hot and it
that's
was ready.
lovely that she cooks, but so I love my mother-in-law. I do. However,
Oh,
enough's enough. I've actually had to kick them out of my house. And it didn't help one time that the in-laws came one time to stay for a couple of days and decided they were having such fun they wanted to stay. And I'm talking not just my mother-in-law and father-in-law, my sister-in-law and brother-in-law too all came over and decided they were going to extend their Thanksgiving vacation and stay 7 days. They were going to stay longer, but on the 7th day I was like, everybody get the fuck out. And not kidding.
on the seventh day, Rainey rested.
On the 7th day,
And-
Rainey said, get the fuck out. Everybody's leaving today. And so
Yeah.
they left. And my in-laws thought I didn't like them and didn't want to come back after that. Like, no, I love you guys. I do. But enough's enough. And it didn't help that they were all fighting. It was, oh my God. It was
Oh.
horrible. And then, of course, there's the deal breaker, period, that my mother-in-law cooks with green peas. Absolute deal breaker. Get out of my house.
What?
Enough. Yes. Yes.
You mean sweet peas?
Is that what they call them? We used to call them
I'm trying
German
to
peas.
confirm. Little green.
Nothing sweet about them. They're horrible, horrendous. They're better if you let them dry up and shoot them in a slingshot. They're perfect. Don't try to eat them.
Oh my God.
It's the little green peas. They try to sneak into everything to make you eat it. Like they'll sneak it into the ramen. They'll sneak it into Spanish
Just
rice.
peas. Regular peas.
It's like green peas.
Yeah.
Now
What's the problem with peas?
I hate them.
understand.
So here's the thing. So I grew up poor little white boy, and the cheapest things you could possibly buy are the things we ate. So
Peas.
green peas were like 10 for $1. We ate a lot of them. The canned carrots were like 10 for $1. We ate a lot of them. Brussels sprouts, nobody liked them. We ate a lot of them. I grew up on a pig farm. We ate a lot of pork. So things I grew up eating a lot of, I don't want any part of now. Except bacon and roast pork. I like that. So, but I ate so many green peas as a kid, I would literally throw up split pea soup. It was just disgusting. So yeah, that's one of the things I hate to eat. So there you go.
I
Shame.
hear you.
And she puts green peas in everything. So yeah.
She has her own way about her. It is her way or the highway. Very much don't you dare try and control me. I know what I'm talking about, but then tries to control you and manipulate you, like the TV shows or what Democratic Party you should vote for, or just like all of that. So I drink a lot and nod my head, Okay, it's time for you to go now. And it's hard because, again, she's only trying to be nice, but she tries to serve my husband, and I feel like that's just not her place,
The other thing, she would get bored. So I'm sitting there playing video games one time because that's what I do when I come home from work. I relax a little bit. She starts vacuuming while I'm playing video games and starts bumping my feet with the vacuum cleaner.
Yeah, like put them up.
And that's what broke. I was like, "What are you doing?" She's like, "I gotta find something to do." I'm like, "Then go home." You got to find something to do. Drive all the way back to Florida. Just go. But yeah, it's insane. I do like Keith's saying, I like my peace and quiet. I love having company. But there's a point where I have to have quiet and I can just sit and do, rainy things. And that's what I want to do. I want to sit down at the end of the day and unload and not hear people screaming in the background. And it's just absolutely insane. So
I want to walk around in my underwear. I like to play card games with my husband. A good game of cribbage, a couple beers. We haven't been able to do that for like 2 years. It's just
lock the
you
doors.
Would think, why not? No, I know, right? But she's
Set
lonely
bear
too,
traps.
right? She's lonely. I think it's I got to be kind.
Yeah.
And I also have to
sometimes.
understand if it was my mom, God, we both love her dearly. She's a really nice person. She'd drive us both batshit crazy too. So it's just we like our space.
Oh yeah, my mother, I'd go to visit and set a time, and then it's time to leave. I can't even stay a full day. It's like, oh, gotta go. So
I'll
my
go visit
mother,
her for a weekend.
yeah, my mother died in the last few years, and even when I went down to visit her before she died, it was like I can only take so much. I know you're about to die, but this is about all I can take. Bye. So, I miss her, but just she was a pistol. She was a loaded pistol, dripping gunpowder, and would go off at anything.
Oh wow, yeah.
I go to see her the last time, and this is no joke. The last time I got to see her alive, I go to visit her at my niece's house, and she's sitting across from me, and she goes, "It just bothers me that you're going to go to hell."
Oh shit.
Well, I guess I got to go. I got to go. So I hugged her and left, and that's the last time I saw her.
Oh, wow. I'm sorry, man. Yeah, Nancy, she lets me know quite often that I'm definitely going to hell. It's debatable for the hubby. I was like, no, we're going together.
Love of mine, someday you will die, but I'll be close behind. I'll follow you into the dark. You know that song's about suicide?
No.
Did you know that?
But I do now.
Yep. Death Cab for Cutie, I Will Follow You is about suicide. If you die, I'm going to kill myself and follow you. Way to put a damper on a love song, right?
Little dramatic.
I've been thinking about that song a lot lately because of Ozzy. Because
Julia, calm down.
well, we read a story about Sharon Osbourne. They said if he died, she was going to go and do self-assisted suicide and go with him. So I've been thinking about that song a lot lately, and thinking I don't want to hear in the news that she followed him. I don't want to hear this. But she's gone on and she's talked on shows about how she's going to keep his legacy going. So good for her that she changed her mind. I just think it's horrible, and you see it all the time. People, this suicide pacts, or that go together, and it's like, I don't know. I would be sad if my wife died, but I don't think it'd mean that I'd want to stop living too.
I'm not saying that we have a pact. I'm just saying that the door is auto lock, so when I go over the cliff, he's gonna have a hard time getting out. Sorry, that was dark.
No, I mean, I might go and get a few bottles of whiskey and stay here until I dehydrate, but I'm going to go out in my own way. I mean, I'm just not going to go. Well, let's go to Sweden. They've got that SAD pact, so.
You can come to California.
Or they've got it in Canada too. They've got the SAD pact in Canada. They actually try to talk people into committing suicide in Canada, where they can have their organs.
What?
Yeah, Canada has this thing now where if you are diagnosed with an incurable disease, or they think that your living will be compromised, they try to talk you into doing assisted suicide, where they can have your organs. This is not a joke. Look it up. They're pushing it in the news in Canada. They have a fancy word for it. They have a fancy little phrase for it. But basically, they're trying to talk people into. And this is no shit. If you watch this, there's this girl called Jasmine Lane up in Canada. She does a daily show. And she said they push it really hard in Canada. People who have cancer or some kind of disease that they're, like brittle bone disease or whatever, they're like, hey, listen, it's going to take you about 3 or 4 years to get on the list to have this operation. You're going to suffer the whole time. So what you should do is let us help you die peacefully, and we'll donate your organs. And they make it sound really sensible and smart and cool, but it's a real thing. No joke.
That's pretty messed up.
Canada's a really weird place right now. Well, Canada's always been a really weird place.
I can't say anything. I had a very warped representation of what Canada was thanks to South Park.
Well, it wasn't far off.
I mean, the first time I met a Canadian, I'm like, all right, he ain't saying nothing. He didn't say a boot one time. You're not from Canada, dude. I've seen the shows.
It's a boot. It's a boat. A boat. Like you sail away in it. That's what it sounds like.
That guy actually moved back to Canada and opened a pot farm.
So the Canadian Assisted Suicide Program is called MAID, Medical Assistance in Dying Law.
Okay, so I actually did a report back in my college-ish days, right, about assisted suicide. I am for it to a point of as long as someone else is benefiting, right? As long as someone else gets that shot at another good life, right? That's the only benefit to it. I mean, you're gonna have people that are gonna go no matter what you say or do or how much you try to help them. There's nothing you can do. But if that person is willing to go and be a sacrifice so that someone else could have a good shot at life, does that make it a good thing? And that's something we could never really come to a decision on in the class was, well, it's got its good sides and it's got its bad sides, but just like this Canada thing where they're now pushing people to commit suicide so they can harvest their organs. How much are they charging people for the organs they're getting?
They're actually selling them back to China. China will actually pay someone to commit suicide, pay the family where they can harvest their organs. There was a ring of organs coming out of China where they were basically rounding up homeless people in the street and harvesting them. They were taking people out of jails and harvesting them. China's a weird place too.
Yes.
But yeah, it's so I have a friend, and it's also a friend of Bleak Rides, that did a big story on him, and she actually did a video on Dr. Kevorkian. What Dr. Kevorkian was doing was actually waiting until, and he was helping, I thought. They were taking people who they wouldn't let die, who were bedridden, couldn't, were basically pooping themselves and would not let them die. And he would wait until they were at their final stages and in so much pain that they couldn't bear it to actually, do the procedure. As far as people, going out just because they don't want to keep living, I don't know, man. That's pretty dark. Probably because I just can't understand. And I've been at the point where I thought there's nothing else to live for. But it doesn't take long after that to realize there's a whole lot of things worth living for. And the things that people, I have never actually seen a person, you see a lot of reports of people that tried to commit suicide for real, not just like for attention, and it didn't happen. And the first thing they all said is as soon as they pulled the trigger or as soon as they swallowed the pills and they knew this was it, they weren't doing it for attention, they were like, why did I do that? Why did I do this? I don't want to die. It's the very next thing they think is, I don't want to die. And I think it's a romantic, glorious thing while you're thinking about it, and people are going to know who I am now, and blah, blah, blah. If you can get past that thought, the next thing you're thinking is, why am I doing this? So, again, I would rather somebody call me in the middle of the night if they're having a problem. I'll answer the phone, and I have answered the phone in the middle of the night to talk to people. I've got one friend who has told me he's suicidal and he doesn't want to live and he's in a lot of pain. If he can call me about anything, and I answer the phone. I was going to bed one time Diana had already turned off all the lights. The security alarm was set. I get in the bathroom, start brushing my teeth, and he texted me. He's like, "You got time to talk?" I'm like, "I do now." I told Diana, "He's on the phone. I got to go talk to him." And so I went out. It ended up being something else, but I think if somebody, no matter if they ever tell you this or not, if somebody wants to call you in the middle of the night just about some BS, it's not about some BS.
Right.
If somebody wants to talk to you in the middle of the night, there's something on their mind, and it may only be that there's nobody out there for me, and I need to hear another person talking to me. So if the first words out of their mouth aren't, "Hey, I'm thinking about committing suicide, I need to talk to somebody," read between the lines.
Yeah.
And I've answered the phone for a lot of people in the middle of the night and talked to people and sent a text back, "Hey, everything okay? You good? What's going on?" "No, I'm fine. I just wanted to." And sometimes that's all it takes. I remember seeing this story, and it was a true story, about a guy who was a football player, was a pro football player. I can't remember what his name was, but he said when he was in high school, they were walking, him and all his friends were walking out, and some bully bumped into this dude and knocked all the books out of his arms. And all his friends were like, "Oh, that sucks, oh, blah, blah." So he's like, just kind of out of his mind, he goes, "Let me help this guy out." So he picks all his books up. "Dude, where are you carrying all these books for?" He goes, "I'm just going to bring all these books home." He goes, "Oh, well, me and my friends, we're going to go this way. You want to go with us? Let's go for, come with us, man. I'll help you carry your books." So he starts carrying his books home. Well, so they get there and they talk the whole way, and come to find out this guy, he likes football, but he's not on the team. And they say, "Oh, dude, you got to try out with the team. You got to play with us, man. You got to be with us." And so he starts hanging out with his friends, and they're hanging out with all their friends and stuff. The clincher was, the next Monday, the guy goes by his house and says, "Hey, man, let me carry all your books. I need to carry all your books home, for this weekend." And so he helps him carry his books back. Well, then they hang out for a couple of years. He goes to see this guy talk, and the guy actually gets some award. He actually doesn't play professional football, the other guy. And he goes to this thing, and he goes to this speech, and he's giving this speech, and he says, "When I was in high school, I didn't have a lot of opportunities and a lot of things going for me. I didn't think I had any friends, and one day I decided I was just going to end my life. And I took all of my books home because I didn't have to leave the books behind for my mother to clean up when I killed myself. I didn't want her to have to clean up after me. And I made a friend who changed my life, and all of a sudden I had a friend and I had things to live for and stuff. And that's the guy right there, and he's sitting in the audience. He's my guest tonight." The guy never knew. He was like, "What?" And this is like 20 years later. He's telling this story in a packed audience of, whatever this guy was getting his award for. But the guy was like, "What?" Because he called, "Hey, come out, man. I'm getting an award. I want you to be there. I want you to be there." So the small things you do, and this is obviously cliche. We've seen this written on every T-shirt from here to Bangkok. Be nice to everybody, because you never know what kind of day they're having, and you may be the best thing that happens to them all day.
Yep.
And sometimes that's absolutely true. So that's why I always say, be kind. I guess even to your mother-in-law,
Yeah.
because you never know. Unless they cook green peas, and
Fine.
then whatever. So anyway, let's talk about motorcycles. Let's get on to better things.
Let's talk bikes.
Let's
What
talk
do we got
bikes.
going
on? Let's see.
I destroyed a camera today. Is that nice?
Yes. Oh, I did too. But let me hear about yours first.
I was out on the Fat Bob today recording some videos, and I left this really nice spot. And then as I was taking off, the mount for the Insta360 snapped, and the camera went falling to the floor.
Oh no.
Yeah, I got the mount around here somewhere. There it is. Oh, I don't know how we'll be able to see it, but the little fins that clip into, they snapped off, and the camera went plummeting to the ground. Oh. And it's got a nasty, nice little scar on it, too. Check it out.
Oh my God.
That's not too bad.
Yeah.
Well, it went from a
Let's get another
360
lens.
to a 180.
Well,
Yeah.
luckily those can be repaired and it doesn't go. So my GoPro took a tumble probably 2 or 3 months ago, and the metal case got scratched up pretty good, got dented, got some dings in it, but it actually survived. So gamers, I'm sure Key Fob, you probably know. So Xbox has this thing called the Red Ring of Death,
Yep.
and when it comes on, it's no coming back. Well, GoPro has something like that. It's called the Rowdy Rainbow, where the entire screen just goes into bars of color. It looks like a weird rainbow. On the way home today, I'm doing some little footage, and my rear-looking camera, the one that looks at me, just goes dead. And I was like, oh, I guess the battery died. It must have not been monitoring the battery voltage or something. I get home, the back of it's still lit up, and it's got the rainbow on it. I'm like, oh, come on.
Oh man.
Oh.
And it was hot. The camera was so freaking hot. I'm like, come on. So I pulled the battery, put another battery in, it wouldn't come back on. So I'm like, well, that's it. But I think my next camera, though, my next vlogging camera is going to be one of these $150 jobs off Amazon.
Yeah.
Because I have spent so much money on cameras, and a lot of it, like the Sony. My wife bought me a Sony a ZX1 or ZR1, and that one's absolutely fantastic. But as far as mobile cameras go, the ones I'm going to put on my helmet, the ones I'm going to put on the handlebars, I'm going to go not cheap on it from now on. But GoPros are so expensive now, and it's a hit or miss. You'll buy one. It's like my silver was perfect. Then I got the 7 and it sucked. I got the 8 and it was awesome. I got a 9 and it sucked. And then I went back to the 8s. So I've been using the 8s and they've been perfect until one took a tumble going about 50 miles an hour.
Ouch.
So still pretty good, but I mean something that has the tendency to drop off a motorcycle, I probably won't spend as much money on it next time. I mean, you look at Josh is still Shade Tree is still using a GoPro 3 and a GoPro 4. So for vlogging, for like carrying on the camera and for looking back at you, I don't think you need a whole lot. For getting beautiful shots when you go to campouts and stuff, you can handhold that and do movies and weddings and stuff. Okay, I'll spend a little more money on that.
Yeah.
But Diana says, what's shifting? Yeah. Shifting is why my body jerks when we're driving. That's what?
She's answering Serenity Kitty. She said, what's shifting?
A
So
maxi
Serenity
scoot.
Kitty, I ride a maxi scoot, so I say, what's shifting? She's like, what's shifting?
I pulled into a gas station one time when I was on a trip, and somebody came out, looked at the BMW, and said, wow, they make those things look like real motorcycles now. And I said, what? He says, yeah, that's... And I said, what? He said, yeah, that looks like a real motorcycle. I said, it is a real motorcycle. He said, that's not a scooter? And I said, no, that's an 1800cc motorcycle. And he takes another look at it. He goes, I thought it was just like a really big scooter. And I'm like, okay, yeah, it is. I mean, yeah. It's got an engine
That's
bigger
funny.
than some cars, but yeah, if you say so. Did you just snort?
I did. It's awesome. We had a kid, a little like 3 or 4-year-old kid, come into the bank today to open up his first account, and he brought his piggy bank, okay, with coins, y'all. And he told us he wants to open up his he's gonna buy a motorcycle. And the manager goes, oh, she rides a motorcycle. That's her motorcycle, right outside there. And he goes, if I put my money in here, can I buy your motorcycle?
How much money
Well,
you got?
someday. Not today. I wrote it here and ride it home. Oh my God. Super cute.
I've still got to. I'm at a standstill on the Kawasaki because I'm at the part where I have to spend a lot of money on it now to get it roadworthy. So
Really?
the engine runs, it rolls. I've got all the cooling things on it, and I've got the sparky things on it. I've got the air boxes back on it and stuff. Now I have to get a fairing and tires. So I'm sitting for a while.
Yeah.
Because now I've got to decide. But after that, luckily in Mississippi, I still have to get it retitled because it hasn't been titled in 13 years. And because I don't know the original owner and no one's titled it, I can basically go down and just file for a title and say somebody gave it to me and I bought it for $5, whatever. because it's been so long since it's been registered. However, once I do that, then it has to be roadworthy. So then I've got to shortly after that have it running. There's no inspections here, but if you tell them that it's a bike that hasn't ran, then you have to show it runs. So not as bad as California. No one's going to come look at it, but it's got to be like roadworthy.
What if you don't tell them it stopped running?
They're going to want to know why it sat for 13 years, probably. I don't know. I've thought those questions, and I thought, do I want to like be shy about it or sly, or am I going to be the one person that they say, okay, well, we need to see this bike in person just to match VINs or something, since it hasn't been registered in this long, and it'll probably be that. I'll probably be that guy. So what's funny is the bike I think it only has like 3,000 miles on it. They wrecked it, put it in a shed, and it sat in the shed for like 10 years. And then somebody else bought it for parts, and they took parts off of it and stuck it in a shed for another couple of years. And then my friend, he bought it for like $500 and was going to try to get it running. Never had the time, so he put it in somebody's shed in the mud, and it sat there for a couple of years. So the bike has not been treated nicely. And if any of y'all saw the oil change video, that's definitely a believable story. That oil came out looking like you could pour it on cereal. It was bad. So, but what's funny is the bike still runs, and it runs great. I mean, it took some engine work, but the bike actually runs fine. I didn't have to do anything to the carbs. Just some rewiring, a fuel tank, a fuel sender, new plugs, new air filter, new air box, and that runs. And a new radiator overflow and some hoses and stuff. But still, I mean, of all the things that could have been wrong with that engine for sitting up for, 13 years.
Well, that and the way it's set up too.
Yeah, it was not treated fairly. However, it's a Kawasaki, so I'm not surprised it actually still runs.
It'll be so nice when you can get it out and take it on a long trip.
Yes.
Not a long trip, but
I'm gonna get it to work first. Hey, you want to ride it down to Florida?
No.
I can have it running by then.
I want to take Brainy's Goldwing down to Florida.
Do
But
it.
she hasn't even touched that bike yet.
So.
It doesn't have a seat on it. He wants me to sit on it without a seat.
That's fine. That's why it's got foot pegs. It's got foot pegs. Stand up on it.
Beside it. Oh.
Put it on it.
Y'all give me a minute. I'm going to put this damn seat on.
Hey, lady, how you been doing?
Get my damn flashlight.
Oh, that's awesome.
Michael Holmes says broke his throttle cable today. Had to pull the wire out and tie it around my leg to get home. Oh, okay, that works. Whatever works. I mean, I guess. I had to
That's funny.
Every time I tapped my foot, it went faster. So you know how karma works out. You see something and you go, "Wow, that's something." And if something ever happened, I could use it. I saw a clutch cable on Amazon today for my motorcycle, and I was like, "Oh, that's funny. I just replaced the clutch levers and stuff, and now I don't need that, but now I found it." And then all of a sudden, I realized I might go home and the clutch cable will just fly right off. But at least now I know. It's funny how you find something like right before you need it.
Yeah.
So I hope I don't break the throttle cable or the clutch cable on this thing, because that'd be stupid. I did find new
my luck
levers.
is that I find it right after I need it, and I've already taken care of it.
That works too. That's a heads up for later in life. But
Pretty much.
yeah. Okay, so we were also talking about movies and stuff. We were talking about remakes of movies that sucked and remakes of movies that worked. So
You're killing me, Smalls.
So let's say the American Pie series got kind of dumb after like the 5th one. Nightmare on Elm Street. The first 2 or 3 were great, and then they got stupid. Halloween. The first one was great. Sequel was kind of dumb because they were just going for a cash grab. Nightmare on Elm Street, Friday the 13th. The first Nightmare on Elm Street was absolutely awesome. The first Friday the 13th was absolutely awesome. And then after that, they just started making so many of them. It was almost like a sitcom. Did you fall asleep on me? Too much vodka?
No, but it's out of my wheelhouse. So I'm calling in a help
Are
card.
you doing a phone a friend?
I'm doing a phone a friend. Hey, Wahlberg, come on in over here. Hey, everybody. This is the hubby. Officially, that's his name. So he has a question about movies.
Oh no, okay.
Okay. So the question is, what movie is like awesome? Maybe the sequel is okay, but after that is just terrible, 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 terrible. In your humble opinion.
American Pie.
Yes.
Yeah, he did say that one. That was the first one he named off.
The first one was
Yeah.
great.
First two were great, and then the American Wedding was okay. After that, it got
American
to like
Wedding.
it was just too stupid.
No, that one was terrible.
Oh, he said that was.
I thought it was funny when they all talked me into shaving his balls. That was hilarious.
Here you go. Here's the great one. Matrix.
Oh, the last Matrix was absolutely stupid. The last Matrix was
Absolutely
nauseating.
Stupid.
It was so dumb.
Didn't even understand it.
Nauseating.
But Friday the 13th, first two
What?
were great.
Is that all?
Yeah, get out. Thank you. Love you.
Take your green peas with you. Get out.
Sorry.
Police Academy. I think the best Police Academy was Police Academy 4. Have you not watched any Police Academies either?
I avoid watching TV and movies.
So what's the best song that has a sequel that no?
Oh my gosh, absolutely right.
Yeah. Okay, so
Like all of Neil Diamond's songs, they all sound alike.
I thought that about
They all sound
Rush. And Clean Clearwater.
Not to piss everybody off, but Rush comes on and I'm like, no.
I had a friend when I was on the ship who was like, and I love to piss him off because he'd be like, "Oh, the best band ever is Rush." I'm gonna go, "Who? It's Rush." It's like, what? I don't think I've ever heard anything about them. Yeah, they do YYZ, and I'm like, "What's YYZ? Is that a zipper?" No, you've heard that. You've heard that song a million times. Like, I have no idea what that song is. Tom Sawyer. No, Tom Sawyer's a book. No, it's a song. I'm like, no, it's a book. I read it. Oh man.
That would be the only one that I would recognize by them.
You've probably heard that YZZ or YYZ, whatever it is, a million times. It's just an instrumental song.
Okay.
And it just plays forever and ever and ever, and it's so fucking boring. It belongs in like an elevator for sure. But I I knew who they were, but I would piss him off on purpose just to say, because it was fun. I'd get him fighting mad. It was fun.
You missed out, Keepop. Did you get the seat installed?
Oh yeah, I even started the bike. I was listening to y'all the whole time.
You're a good man.
All
Yeah,
ABBA
we're
sounds the
riding
same to me. Yeah, but ABBA's cool, so every time I think of ABBA, I think of Casey Kasem. And now, time to listen to the best group in the world, ABBA. Casey Kasem had this weird fascination with ABBA. And it was always fun when ABBA had a song that was on the top 10 because Casey Kasem would get so excited. It was a good time.
Yep, the perfect mix of breathing and singing, the way he would say it.
He was, yeah. That dude was cool. Anyway, welcome back. Oh, it's been a long week. We had FDA inspections all week and a lot of finger pointing and people screaming at each other, but we passed. So stressful either way.
How long in between inspections? Is it like 6 months, a year?
Well, it's supposed to be a year. They had a surprise inspection. That's why everybody was so fired up. And the funny thing, so I came in Monday, and I'm like, all right, well, I'm gonna go pick up some parts. I got to go to Triple C, go to the machine shop. I get there, and immediately I get a phone call. You got to come back. FDA's here. I'm like, all right, I'm the head of maintenance. They're not going to want to talk to me. You need to get back here now. I'm like, all right. On the way back, he keeps texting. I'm on the motorcycle, mind you, and he keeps texting me. And I'm reading it on my freaking printout, my cool little 7-inch screen now that I have on the bike. He goes, "I need you now. I need you now." And I'm like, "It's not gonna make me drive any faster. I mean, I'll be there when I get there." That was too funny. So anyway, yes, I did very little except save the plant. They were looking for records, and every time they asked for a record, they seemed to think maintenance knew where it was, or maintenance made the record, or maintenance had the diagram, or maintenance had, and I'm like, dude, we're maintenance. I have nothing to do with operations. I have nothing to do with compounding. You want something, I can probably go find it for you, but don't. It's not my responsibility. Luckily, I did find enough things to keep them above float, so my division passed, my department passed, but it was just so stupid. Everybody's freaking out. It's like, dude, they're either going to shut the plant down or they're not. Why are you worried? There's bigger things to worry about. And I'm maintenance. I can always go somewhere else.
Yeah.
I'm employable
Bigger things
everywhere.
like, what's for lunch today?
Yeah.
That's more important.
There's a lot more important things than everybody else freaking out because they didn't do their jobs. Just saying.
I hear you. I have a PBJ every single day because my hubby makes it for me in the morning, so I know what I'm having for lunch today and every day. I am lazy and I'm cheap and I will not buy lunch, so he's got to make me something.
Well, I hate leaving for lunch just because, again, I love riding on the motorcycle. Excuse me, but that also means if you leave for lunch, you got to put your helmet back on and it's 100 degrees outside. So I would rather eat something small at work than have to leave to go somewhere for lunch.
It's we only get a half an hour, and it's such a small town that I could literally walk down the block, and those are the only 2 restaurants. So.
Well, there's a gas station around the corner, but unless you go early in the lunch hour, and I don't have an actual lunch period, I get to go to lunch when I think nobody's going to bother me for 30 minutes, which it never fails. If I do decide, like yesterday, a friend of ours said, I need to get out of this place to go on lunch today, so we went to lunch. And my phone went off like 3 times while we were at lunch, and I ignored it. I'm like, I'm at lunch. I'm at lunch. Yes, my wife makes mine. She makes me yummy sandwiches, again, because like I would rather eat at work than go somewhere. Because it's, I don't know, I want to sit at my desk, watch the YouTube videos, or read a book.
I walk out.
And I get up at 4:30 in the morning.
Down,
that's why I'm tired.
There's that too. I walk down 2 buildings to the post office, and I stop in and I eat lunch and chat with the hubby and their crew. Hang out with them for 20, 25 minutes. Walk back. Yeah, it's kind of nice. We get to have lunch together most days. He gets a lot more days off than I do.
I think the Navy spoiled me because you could always eat right next to your work. I didn't have to go far. All right.
5 a.m. Oh my goodness.
Who gets up at 5 a.m.?
She
gets up at 5 a.m. Yeah, I get up I wake up at 4:30. And then I claw her feet with my feet for about 15 minutes, and then I get up. And then when I finish brushing my teeth and taking my vitamins and stuff, then she gets up. Truth in advertising. All right, what else we got to talk
have
about?
our morning routines, right?
We have a routine. Yes, we have a routine, and I pretty much stick to it mostly.
I do. I get up early. I make my coffee. I stand there and I wait on it. It's ready the night before. I have it, grind my beans, put in the water. In the morning, I hit that button. I stand there and I wait. Pour my cup of coffee, walk in the bathroom, and I hold it and I just stand there. I'm not even looking at myself. I just stand there until I drink at least half of my coffee, and then I can day.
I have that's when I know it's gonna be a good day. If I go to brush my teeth and I just stare at myself in the mirror for a while, I know it's gonna be a good day.
Takes me a while.
I've got my routine. I get up, I go do my nasal spray because it's Mississippi and pollen is like the state flower, and then I go brush my teeth, and then I do my little exercises because I'm an old man. I have to do all these little weird exercises to keep my body strong and flexible. And then I go take the rest of my vitamins, and I drink a half orange juice, half Sprite, with some citrulline in it, and then I take my vitamins, and then I jump on the motorcycle, go to work. Get to work, I put my Pop-Tarts or whatever, my bagels or whatever in the toaster that I brought up to work. I make coffee at work. And then while that's all cooking, I go out, check out on the floor, make sure all my people are there, come back in time to either put onion cream cheese on my bagel, or I put peanut butter on my Pop-Tart. And then I sit there and start going through my emails.
Oh.
And then I wake up about a half hour later.
Oh, heck yeah. No, coffee. I have coffee ready the night before I leave work. So when we get to work in the morning, we open up that door. It's ready. Ready to go. It sounds like I drink a lot of coffee. It's like 2 cups, really, but it's really
I
important.
drink a lot less now than I used to. In the summer, I don't drink a lot of coffee because it dehydrates. So I drink a lot of water. I drink a lot of the little fruit drinks, the mix-in drinks, and I usually bring 2 sodas to work, but I drink 1. And usually I take a picture of the refrigerator when I leave work, where I'll know what she has to pack me for the next day. So it's like, all right, well, I'm out of. Oh, and I have guacamole and chips and stuff up there. So a bag of chips is up there, and she puts guacamole, a little squeezed thing of guacamole, and yogurt. So I'll take a picture of whatever I didn't eat that day. That way, she shouldn't have to pack it for the next time.
Oh my God.
And then we swap out.
That's super sweet. No, get up, get ready. I listened to my husband's alarm go off like 8 times, and yeah, he loves his snooze. And I'll actually at some point walk out there and I'll turn his fan off, like, hey, this is the first warning that you're gonna have to get up at some point. And then if he's not snuggling with my bulldog, I'll get her and I'll put her up next to him so he can snuggle with her for a few minutes, because at some point she'll get snarky and she'll want some breakfast.
Was that the one that nearly killed you?
Which one almost killed me?
The bulldog?
Oh, no. This is my favorite one, the little black and white one.
They were probably in on it together. You know that, right?
All 3 of them working together. They do share 1 single brain cell. 1.
Yeah, I do want to make it to retirement. Absolutely. Yeah, my cat does this thing at night. If I don't water it and feed it at night, it'll come in there and like pat me. And then I'm like, fuck, I didn't give it any water. And then in the morning, if it drank all the water or something, it comes in there. If it doesn't bother me, I know everything's good. As soon as the alarm goes off, it jumps up, starts patting me. I know it's out of something.
Oh.
And so I'll usually go give it whatever it needs and then come back to bed. She's done it in the middle of the night a few times. It's hard to wake me up in the middle of the night, unless you're a dog. The dog with her daggers, her feet daggers, she'll wake me up at night.
Oh.
But anyhow,
They wake us up all the time.
well, she wakes my wife up more than me because she's on her side of the bed. And if she doesn't wake my wife up, and my wife's really drugged out because she's a stoner, no, she takes a lot of medicine to sleep, I'll get up and take her out. Otherwise, it's my wife. Because my wife gets to go back to bed for a little bit before she gets up for the day. So that's our other ritual.
Mine rarely wake me up. Yeah, I guess if something's wrong, she'll wake me up, but she sleeps right next to me, shoulder to shoulder. Sometimes I spoon, I wrap my arms around her, Oh my God. I know, I've never been this way before. I got a small dog, and I am the person who used to make fun of these small dogs and the people who had them, and I love that little dog so much. So, yeah, right next to me, she'll turn her back, and we sleep shoulder to shoulder. Head out of the covers. She doesn't sleep on my pillow, but might as well. And I love it. If I could bring her with me everywhere, I would.
My cat, so she's old now. Let's see, we got her in 2012. So she's on 13 years on now. And she's, for like the last few months, she's been wanting to go, if it's time to go to bed, she jumps up on the bed. And she'll stay on the bed, because I'll get in bed at night and I'll read for a little while before I go to bed. She'll lay there beside me until I go to sleep. And once I go to sleep, she gets down. It's like she wants to make sure that I'm actually going to bed. Little nutsack.
They are. Love them all.
So like my little mother, the little mother hen. All right, tomorrow day, noon California time, 2 o'clock Central Time, I'm doing an interview. It's a girl, Candy Easton. She's in California right now, building a motorcycle. So you guys tomorrow, if you can catch this, 2 p.m. Central Time, I'll be interviewing her. She was going to try to get on tonight, but again, being in California, times are really weird there. So she was going to try to jump on a little later, but I guess she's not going to be able to make it tonight. So tomorrow, though,
Cool.
noon California time, if you guys aren't busy, if you're not hosting a fundraiser somewhere on the side of the road selling cookies, show up.
So
What if I'm
I
buying the
oddly
cookies?
do have something going on tomorrow. I'm so sorry. And it is work related.
It's fine.
It
You
is
always
not
let
a
me down.
fundraiser.
It's fine.
I know I do, but it's a weird. I got picked to be in a commercial, so I'm
Did you?
driving 3 hours away to meet with some of my other coworkers, and they're filming a commercial after work.
Well, awesome. That's worth it.
That
Yeah.
sounds fun.
I love making commercials.
No,
so I
not
agree.
at all. But they pay me for it, so I'm
If
like,
they're
yeah,
gonna
I'll
pay
drive
you.
3 hours away and 3 hours back, and yeah, it's 10 hours OT.
Oh, so dig this. I got spotted for a commercial, and I'm sure you've seen these things all over the place. These biker earplugs,
Yeah.
and they sent me some, and they're like, okay, it's we'll pay you to do this. It's a penalty if it takes more than 3 days, and blah blah blah. I got these things. They're absolutely stupid.
Mm.
They're not comfortable. They're too small. They keep falling off of my ears. I'm like, these things are dumb. So this is the first commercial that I've actually, even that stupid ass orange freaking jumper they gave me, the hoodie, the armored hoodie, I did the commercial for that. I did it all. This thing I refuse to. Like, I am not going to advise anyone to use these things because they're stupid.
Mm.
I want to see the one with the orange hoodie, the armored hoodie now.
Kinda
I actually might go ahead and make that commercial because I have all the footage. So this thing is orange camouflage, and it's for Winx Wheels, who made a couple of cool ones. But so Steve from Indy Ridge gave me a black one. He gave me one called the Hoodlum, and that thing was so comfortable, so awesome, so smooth, so warm. It was like wearing a hug.
Oh,
The one from Winx Wheels is like some kind of pyrotechnic, I don't know, some kind of microfiber. It's like putting on a diaper. And you can't, it's not very stretchy. It's very restricting. So it was hard to get it on with the armor in. And when I wrote the company, I said, hey, I can't get it on with the armor in. And they're like, well, take the armor out and pretend like it's in. Give me a fucking break. I said, all right. So I did. And, but it was not where the Indy Ridge one was warm. This one was like suffocating. It didn't breathe. It's very much like shiny. I'm gonna make the video just because I can, and release it. Yeah. So the reason I still have all the footage is because they didn't release it. I gave them all the footage. They made the commercial, and then they're like, we're gonna wait until next year to release this. We're not releasing it yet. So I'm sitting on it.
All right.
But I'm gonna make it. I'm gonna go ahead. They paid me for it. My part of the deal is complete. So I'm gonna make a video with it.
How orange is it?
Let me show you.
This is exciting. So I'm thinking, like hunting season. Huh. You can't even use that for hunting season.
Yeah. So like again, like where the Indy Ridge one was comfortable and smooth and like soft. This one is like I said, it's like wearing a diaper. It's shiny. I don't know if you can tell that from this, but it's like a shiny, weird, plasticky thing.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah. I was thinking, well, what if you could use it for like hunting or something? But no, you cannot.
Well, you can wear it if it's really cold. So the Indy Ridge one I've worn under another jacket, and it's worked as a thermal layer because it breathes. This one does not. Yeah.
Sorry about that.
Yeah, Matt, you missed this one. So this is the Winks and Wheels one.
I mean, I like the pattern. If there was more of it.
Well, if it was softer, I would love it. It's not soft, and it's not. I mean, it's not a bad pattern. It's just the material is so weirdly constricting.
It's urban camo.
It's urban camo, yeah. And you know what urban they wear that in? You know where you can hide in what urban area? None. It reminds me of Icon released something like that back in like maybe the early 2000s, like 2002, 2003. It didn't work for them either. It's just an odd duck.
It's hard to find anything that works good.
That's why when Steve decided not to sell the hoodlum, I was like, dude, people love this, because he had like 50 of them. Everybody in my little group got one, and they all loved them. They even got one for a guy at work. And he's like, yeah, I don't like it. But now he's making a flannel, an armor flannel. And I'll promise you guys, anything that Steve makes from Indy Ridge is going to be great. It's going to be absolutely awesome.
I'm actually wearing my Indy Ridge boots right now.
Aren't they awesome? I wear them to work every day. I wear them on the motorcycle. I wear them when I go walking. I wear them to dinner.
All right, so this is the first pair of Indy Ridge boots that they gave me.
Damn. That's a mighty fine patch job. Mighty fine.
That's just the right one. The left one doesn't look much better.
I'm texting Steve right now.
that was the first pair. Now they replaced them with these, and y'all bear with me. I know my feet smell really bad.
So he did send you another pair?
Yeah, pair of the Crossfields.
Oh, I love the Crossfields. Best.
Oh, no, but I'm already having a problem with those as well. And come here, you foot. The eyelet. Right here in one little spot.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Other than that, I love them.
Yep. Write to hello@Indy Ridge, send a picture, and I'll make sure that we get you rectified. Wrecked them, damn near killed them.
Can we not use the word rectified?
I will get that taken care
going
of.
to a doctor I don't want to go see yet.
Dude, so I'm 55. And I'll tell you this story because it's funny, because I like telling funny stories. So I had a kidney stone. Go to the doctor, and I started peeing blood because I'm trying to pass these stones. And so I go to the doctor, and they're like, yeah, it's reciprocal blood, whatever, blah blah blah. So what we want to do is we're going to do an ultrasound, or we can take a tiny camera and go up into your urethra and take a look. And I'm like, ultrasound sounds good. So we did the ultrasound. And they're like, that's 7 millimeters. Looks like you're trying to pass it now. I'd really like to get in there with the camera, though. No, you're not getting there with the camera. I pass the stone. Blood goes away. I go back for the checkup, and he's like, yeah, it looks like everything's good now, but I'd really like to get up in there with the camera. We're going to go through your PP. We're going to go in here. We're going to go into your bladder. And I'm like, no, we're not. I'm not sure what part of you're not sticking anything in my dick you don't understand. It's not happening. And so he acted like offended by it. And so they kept calling me, we need you to come back. It's been 6 months. We want to do another check. I'm like, no, nothing's wrong. So I go to my doctor, and he's like, okay, you probably need to get, your rectal exam. You need to get your scope done. And I'm like, oh, who do you want to do it? He goes, we're going to send you to this doctor. I'm like, is that the same one that I went to for my urethral exam? Yeah. No.
Nope.
I don't like that guy. He freaks me out. He's got a preoccupation with wanting to play with my dick. I'm not going to go do that. No. And
he wants to stick a tube in there, man. I ain't going to go see him.
Yeah. It might not be a tube. I don't know. This dude, I mean, I'm not going to say the guy's funny, but it's like he's too anxious
Enthusiastic
to stick shit in me. I'm like, no. It's like when you're a kid, it's like, oh, you get a stomachache? You need an enema. Let's give you an enema. No. Oh, Sore throat? Let's give you an enema. No.
But not just an enema. Take pictures while we're in there.
Yeah. No, no.
Oh, it's a side hustle. You just know it.
It's a side hustle. No, I think it's just so. And the obviously the part I left out was, they sent the labs, my urinalysis labs. I said these are covered by insurance. They're going to go in town. And they're like, oh yeah, they're covered. Well, then when the insurance comes back, I owe it's something ridiculous, like $3,000 because they sent them to Maine. And I'm like, you said you're going to read these in house. Oh, well, this one's this special one had to go to Maine. And I'm like, I told you guys only do labs that were covered here, and tell me if it costs because I don't want to pay for a lab because someone can get absolutely stupid. And they ended up writing it off, but I'm like, I was so pissed. But anyway.
So that's a you problem. I ain't paying that.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Michael Holmes, thanks for coming to play. It's been awesome. Make sure you come back sometime. We're here almost every Friday night. We usually actually have more people on than this. I guess it was a horrible week. It was a horrible week for everybody.
It was a shit week.
Yeah, Keith, I'm glad you showed up because it was going to be.
And Mike won't be able to make the camp out in October, unfortunately.
Well, I'll be thinking about him then.
Yeah.
Yeah, Buck said somebody cool got the bike. I didn't get to meet him. And he told me there's somebody I hadn't met. So now I've met you. Thanks for coming. Neil, I didn't see you pop in. Thanks. No, I did.
Hey, Neil.
Oh, yeah. He just hadn't talked for a while. Neil was one of the first ones in. Neil's one of my faithful.
I like to be stylishly late.
You like to be, or you just are?
I just am. It's
I
a
can't
California
stand that
thing.
word.
I am what I am.
I'm on my way home from work. It's, I get here and log in.
I appreciate you. No, I totally do. I appreciate you so much. If you were here, I'd buy you a vodka and lemonade.
Oh, you are my favorite. I don't care what I tell all the others.
I wouldn't even
spit
spit in it, probably.
If I had vodka, I'd probably still drink it. It kills it
You got
off.
vodka. It's fine.
So tomorrow you're interviewing a cool chick who's building a bike?
I'm interviewing a cool chick who's building a bike. You won't be here for it, but it'll be on the replay.
I will watch it.
She's from Texas.
In California?
Yep, she had to go to California to a garage there. She's from Galveston, Texas, which is funny because where I grew up was probably 60 miles from there. So it'll be interesting. It's always funny to interview people that you think are going to be one way, and then there's something totally different. So there was another girl that I interviewed, and when I started watching her, she's from Australia, and I'd see, of course, when you're at work, you watch all the videos silently, and you just read the captions. Well, then I find out that she's actually from Texas, and she's living in Australia, and that was cool. So yeah, she's just a Texas girl. Texas girl hanging with the Australians. Her husband got a job there, so that's where she moved to.
Living her best life. I love it.
Living her dream.
Can't ask for better.
Absolutely. All right. Well, let's go ahead and do final thoughts since we're all here. And thanks everybody for coming. Everybody in the audience, thanks for coming and bearing with us. You never know what you're going to get here on a Friday night. We talked a little bit about motorcycles, sort of.
It came out, yeah.
Kind of.
Eventually got there. I like it when it goes astray because it makes it interesting. At least we just don't all get here, just get drunk and fall asleep. Except for Biker Girl.
Hey now.
I did.
But I did call the hubby in on this one because, what was it, 2 or 3 weeks ago, you guys were talking all sci-fi or something, and I told my husband I was lost. Like, this was your people. This was your show tonight. I wish it had changed places. He would have been so at home.
I used to do it. I used to be in a group that they would just get on every Friday night and just bullshit and get drunk. And I remember the host one time got drunk and passed out. None of us could end the live stream. And we're like, I don't know what to do. Anybody got his number? It's like, he had gone, threw up, passed out, went to sleep. And so eventually we finally was like, okay, well, I guess we're done for the night. Everybody sign off. We're done. So
Oh,
That's
no.
good. All right, so final thoughts. Doug, go ahead. All right, Doug don't have anything to say. All right,
That was deep.
biker girl.
So I won't steal yours about
You can steal
being
mine, it's
kind.
fine.
No,
I might have
it's
another
fine.
one. Go ahead.
But I will say that I think you're exactly right, that people have things going on in life and we judge, we're so ready to steamroll everybody and get on with our day or be right. We have to be right, that sometimes, we don't take into account where other people are coming from. So if you can choose to be anything in this life, choose to be kind and then get out and ride.
Okay. Okay.
I agree. Key fob.
Happiness, man. Doesn't matter what else you have. If you can be happy, that's all you need.
I like
That's
it.
true. I like it.
I saw a thing today that on one of the forums I'm in that said share the biggest misconception about motorcycles. And somebody said, this is not a popular opinion, but all bikes are cool. All bikes are cool. Everything's fun to ride. And I started thinking, I'm like, if you'd have said that 5 years ago, that probably would have been a commonly, understood misconception. Now I think everybody's kind of beat that horse to death, and now you don't have those clicks like you used to. Even here around Memphis, I'd say probably 10 years ago, if you saw a bunch of Harleys, it was all Harleys. You saw a bunch of sport bikes, it was all sport bikes. Now you'll see just huge groups riding together, and you see bike nights, and everybody's there. Everybody's there to enjoy the bikes, and they're looking at all the bikes. Again, you've got a few clicks of, and I'm going to say, not to knock any heads, but it's all the brand new riders who just got a bike and they think they've got to stand up and I'm going to be a biker and I'm going to do biker things and I have to be this way. It's just the new guys that do that. People that ride now really kind of quickly understand we're all in this together. It's all fun. Every bike is fun. Every bike is cool. And every bike is better on gas than a truck. So we're all living the dream together and it's awesome and cool. And I think a lot of these campouts and these biker meetups and stuff have a lot to do with that. Getting a lot of different people together from different backgrounds with different perspectives and just kind of showing them like Shade Tree say, it's one more of us and one less of them, bringing us all together. So
That's true.
I'm going to say, if you ride. Don't pretend it's too hot. Get out there and ride. Even if you're in California and it's only 60 degrees. All right, let's find some music to go out on. We're not going to do the 80s porn music tonight. What are we going to do?
Well, Serenity Kitty just threw out the everybody have fun, everybody Wing Chun. You got that one?
I do not
I
have
was leaning
Wing
towards
Chun.
funk.
I don't have Wing Chun. What I do have,
She's a brick.
I don't know.
Ow.
I have to load this beforehand. Tell you what, next time, anybody that's going to get on, let's do some Dulce Regaton.
What?
It's electronic reggae is what it's supposed to be. Let's see how this sounds. Okay, that's 90s porn. That's not 80s porn, that's 90s porn. All right, everybody. With that, we're going to say like, comment, subscribe, hit that bell. Don't forget I have a Patreon. I sell t-shirts, I sell mugs. I don't sell porn, sorry. Yet. I'm not at that stage in my career. However, I do sell shirts. Tomorrow, I'm doing a video, also not porn. Noon, California time, 2 o'clock Central time. And I'll be interviewing another biker. And then Monday I got another video. So with that, we're going to say like, comment, subscribe, hit that bell, and I will see you guys in the next video.